Hey, it's Loren Lockman from Stockholm, Sweden. I'm here today. I've been here for the week and gave a introductory lecture last night. I've got a full day seminar starting in just a few minutes. And I'm going to take just a quick moment now because I've been contacted by so many people over the last 24 hours about Robert Lockhart's death. First of all, Robert was an amazing guy, a true gentleman. The world is a better place because he was here. And I'm sure I'm one of many, many people who are saddened by his surprising passing. The questions I'm getting from people are worried about, there was a comment on one of my videos this morning. Didn't you hear, like I'm talking, I'm promoting fasting. Yeah, but Robert Lockhart died because he was fasting. I got a question this morning, but is intermittent fasting safe? He was intermittent fasting, right? Like as if these were or is, raw vegan diet. I mean, he was a raw vegan. How could he die at 75? All these issues. And I wanted to address this because, first of all, let me start at the end there. Raw vegan diet, okay? Every species on the planet has a natural diet. No animal on the planet eats animal products. Raw food is the diet of 25 million species. We're not the one exception. Okay, that's simple, it's clear, it should be obvious. And yet, I find myself needing to say this over and over again. If you're curious about this or if this doesn't make sense to you, you want to be really clear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with raw food. 2 days ago, today's Sunday, Friday, was my 28-year anniversary as a raw vegan, living on fruit and salad. 28 years, not one day sick, feeling and functioning better than ever, perfect vision at nearly 59. There's no reason for the body to deteriorate the way the average person's body deteriorates. You can see, my face is still unlined, unwrinkled, it's soft, it's smooth, etc. This is what's possible. And Robert was a great example. He started to go downhill a few years ago because he made a serious mistake. And it's a mistake a lot of people have made. 2 mistakes, in fact. Okay? So the problem, his death, and if you haven't heard about this or aren't aware of what happened, he died the night before last at the age of 75. He had a couple of massive heart attacks, kidney failure, his organs were all failing. And this started, in fact, as a result of kidney failure. Why kidney failure? Kidney failure because he was severely dehydrated. Okay, this is based on a statement made by his daughters and his wife. And this happened. This is something I've been warning against for years. Okay? He made 2 serious mistakes. One, he believed that because he was living on a high water content diet, he did not need to drink water. That is false. Okay? Unlike most people, probably anybody watching this, I've measured the hydration levels of more than 4,000 people over the last 13 plus years. Most people are seriously dehydrated. Okay, it doesn't matter what you eat. In fact, in almost every one of our fasting sessions where we'll have 50, 60 people at the center over the course of 10 weeks, not at the same time, over the course of 10 weeks, usually the most dehydrated person is a fruitarian. Okay, how's that possible? They're eating a high water content diet. It's very simple. The average person is walking around, according to a Danish study, and we see the evidence of this every single session. The average person is walking around with between 5 and 10 kilos, that's 11 to 22 pounds for the Americans, of old material in their digestive tract. And that old material is sitting there like a giant sponge absorbing excess water. And that means you eat a high water content diet and you still have all this old stuff in your system. You're not getting the benefit of the water from that food into your body. Now, I've been here for a week today. It's my 7th day here in Sweden, and I've probably had 1 liter of water. Okay? Well, the lovely lady that's organized my events for me here is drinking liters a day. She needs to. Okay, my body I've cleaned the garbage out. and therefore don't need to drink that much water. Very little, okay? And I stay hydrated. This is why my vision is as it is. This is why I don't need glasses for anything to read, nothing. This is why I'm still hydrated. This is the reason why, okay? So the first piece is you want to be clear. Until you get all the old crap out of your body, you cannot stop drinking water. You have to continue. Sipping water is critically important. Sipping, okay, slowly. No more than 500 milliliters per hour. That's 16 ounces per hour, okay, over the course of the day. Most people need 3 to 4 liters a day, no matter what they're eating. Obviously, if you're eating nothing but dry food, you're going to need more. But even people eating a perfect diet need to drink at least 3 to 4 liters a day in most cases until they clean the old stuff out of the body. Once they clean the old stuff out of the body, then they don't need to do it. Okay? Robert's problem wasn't because of intermittent fasting. But what Robert was doing was he was eating in a 5-hour window. Okay? I typically eat most of my meals, most days, for the last 27 years in a 4-hour window. And I'm perfectly fine. It wasn't the intermittent fasting. The problem was, he'd only been doing it for a few years. The problem was that those 19 hours, these last few years, he wasn't eating or drinking anything, and he was dehydrated. Okay, that doesn't work. If you're dehydrated, you have to drink water. And finally, biggest mistake of all, he was dry fasting. Okay, dry fasting, consuming nothing but nothing, nothing at all. Now, there's Dr. Filanov, the Russian, wrote a book about dry fasting. There is zero, I've read the translation, there is zero science supporting his claims about dry fasting. Zero science. None. Okay? It's not 3 times more powerful. It's not 3 times better in any way. You go into ketosis on the first day, the average person, not everyone, the first day instead of the third day, not because it's 3 times more powerful, but because the average dehydrated body is looking desperately for water, and fasting, ketosis, when you're consuming fat, which is what ketosis is, when you're consuming fat, your body's manufacturing pure water. So the average person dry fasting who's already severely dehydrated, their body needs water and so begins to metabolize fat right away. But that doesn't make it 3 times more powerful. Their body in a is desperately looking for water, is not doing a lot of cleansing and healing. Being in ketosis does not mean your body is cleansing or healing. It means it's running on fat, on ketones. That's all it means. Okay? So there's zero evidence to support dry fast. Now, there is a study that says that dry fasting is much more efficient at eliminating mucus and inflammation. But the problem is that most people are still living based on an old, outdated paradigm, untrue paradigm. The symptom's not the problem. Our virtually infinitely intelligent bodies create inflammation and mucus on purpose. We don't want to drive them away as quickly as possible. We want the body to be able to do whatever it needs to do. We have inflammation and mucus for a reason. The body creates them on purpose, mucus, to encapsulate things that don't belong in the bloodstream so the body can get rid of them as quickly as possible. Inflammation, to allow the body to heal an injury as quickly as possible. The body creates inflammation on purpose. It's not the problem. It's part of the solution. Okay, when I injure myself and I've got inflammation, I don't attempt to do something to get rid of it. There's no ice, there's no heat, there's nothing. I let my body do what it needs to do. This is how we heal as quickly and as effectively as possible. The reason that dry fasting eliminates mucus and inflammation is that inflammation is the body bringing blood and lymph to an area to heal faster. When people fast, if they're not drinking enough water, their blood volume is dropping. Why? Because the body retires 2 million blood cells every minute. 2 million blood cells per minute. That's 120 million blood cells per hour. Okay, I'm not going to do the math right now to calculate how many that is in a day, but it's a lot of blood cells. Okay? And so if your body's blood volume is going down, you're not going to be able to make inflammation. Remember, inflammation the body creates on purpose, and the dry fasting body can't do that. Mucus is 97% water. If you're dehydrated, there's no mucus. The body creates mucus on purpose to help you. It's not the problem, it's part of the solution. So dry fasting is another way to suppress symptoms. People feel better because the body's not doing anything. There's no significant cleansing or healing happening. It is not more powerful in any way. It's not more beneficial in any way. What it does do is it guarantees that you become more dehydrated. And as you become more dehydrated, your kidneys are severely taxed from the lack of water. Eventually, they fail because of it. And that's what happened to Dr. Robert Lockhart. Okay? He'll be sorely missed, but I'm making this video because I don't want to see more people make the same mistake. Okay? This doesn't work. You can't do this. There's zero science to support dry fasting. There's no science to support the idea that eating a fruit-based diet provides your body with all the water you need. Theoretically, yes, it provides my body with all the water it needs, almost all the water, because my body's clean. If you haven't cleaned out all the garbage from your body, and I mean by fasting 21 days or more, probably multiple times and correctly with experienced supervision, you're going to need to continue drinking 3 to 4 liters a day. Okay? That's it for now. I hope you understand. I hope this makes sense to you. And I wish you the best. Off to teach a seminar. Bye-bye.